Hi, I'm Dave from Military Antiques Toronto, and today we're going to be discussing some of the stuff that just keeps walking in the door. Unfortunately, I've been away, so I haven't had a chance to clear this little mountain. So, where to start? Well, I'll do that after. So, World War II U.S. Oh, look, Army Air Force, which right there, as you can see, it's got the stencil still on it. The tag is right there. You can still read it, which is nice. The problem with these pants always is that because of the way they bond the leather is that they flake off. So they make a bit of a mess sometimes, but they are what they are. In this case, the zippers are still functioning and good. So that's good because normally the zippers are broken on these. Not always, but a lot of times. Pair of leather gaiters. I can't find any markings on these at all. So I guess they are in need of further research, but they are a pair of leather black gaiters. Maybe Royal Marines. I don't think so because I think they use cotton, but what do I know? A straight flashlight, nothing special. A canteen that someone has stripped the leather, the wool off of. So it was a cavalry canteen for dismounted, but they stripped the metal, the fabric off, unfortunately. And I don't see any markings except for a sea-broad arrow on the carrier. That's it. There's nothing else, unfortunately. And it's missing a strap, but it walked in the door, so you buy it. It is what it is. A U.S. Navy shirt, missing the label on the back, but what he's done is he's personalized it by embroidering his name on it. Now, I don't know what trade this is, truthfully. I have to look it up, and eventually I will, but he's got a ruptured duck, and, there you go, more stuff. Here's another one. Another ruptured duck on it. I don't know the trade. I'd have to look it up. It's a wartime shirt. You can see where the patch was. Actually, that's probably CB's, but don't quote me on that. On the back is the label. Naval Clothing Factory. Doesn't have a name, unfortunately, but that's the way you get them sometimes with no name. So, and sometimes they're personalized in the cuff for when they went ashore. This one's not. So there's that. A Canadian Artillery post-war. It's a pattern 37 belt that's been modified and blancoed. So it's had the back clips removed out of it, and it's being used as a for a walking out dress. Duffel bag. Massive duffel bag. Well, it's got his name and his service number on. So that's Korean War because it's SB, and I know that. And I believe that it is dated in here somewhere. Usually on these flaps. Okay, there you go. 1952, right there. So there's that. Oh, look, there's a service number also on the strap. So we have that. So that's nicely marked. I'll probably end up getting that research to see who it is. Another pair of U.S. flight pants. These ones are, the label unfortunately has worn out. You can see a tiny bit of it, but that's it. But they have a removable liner to keep warm. I don't see anything else in there. Nice pair of flight pants, actually. Again, they've got the decal on, stencil, Army Air Force right there. So that's a property mark for them. So that's that. And another pair of flight pants. So these ones are Canadian. They're 1956 dated, size 6, with the suspenders. So don't be confused because they say police. That doesn't mean anything. They're not police. That's the manufacturer. And they're wartime suspenders that were used during the war and post-war, and they're just there to keep your pants up. So there's those. Italian World War II canteen for putting wine in, of course, because that's what we want in Italian canteens, right? Some Chianti and we're all good. Because, hey, I like Chianti. A Glen for the Ayrshire Yeomanry. I don't know if the badge is real or not. It came this way. I don't know if they're supposed to be wearing a Glen. I don't believe so, unless they had a pipe band. But I honestly do not know. No maker in it, and I think just someone's added the badge to this to make it look pretty. That's just my opinion. A set of semaphore flags. Probably U.S. Very likely U.S. Not sure exactly. I'll do a little bit of research on that and figure it out. But there you go. There's that. Another pair of flight pants. Geez, I guess it's flight pant day. What's these? These are Canadian again. There's a tag probably. Very likely. Yep, there we go. So, let's see. These are 80s. Yeah, 1989. Size 74-41. So how you read that is that 74 is your height in inches, 41 is your waist in this case. If it's for a jacket, it's the chest. So that'll tell you. It's got the Canadian NATO stock number in. Canadian NATO stock number, the 5th and 6th digit is always 20 or 21. 20 is the new one. 21 is the standard one that's been used for the longest time, but they ran out of numbers. So standard flying pants for the Air Force. All the zippers, nice condition, good to go. I believe these are a pair of dispatch riders pants. So they have the shell dressing pocket on the side, and they're in very nice condition. Unfortunately, the tag is missing. War Department stamped. And that's about it. Size 10. There's no other tags that I found in here that I saw. There was one, but I'm sure it's gone, unfortunately. But they are in very nice condition. I have to confirm those are DR's pants, but in my mind, those are DR pants. But hey, what do I know? Pair of tropical pants. Those are Canadian or British. The tag's been washed out, unfortunately. But, you know, you can see the dish buttons. So those are cool. More stuff. East German, rain pattern, water pattern. Winter jacket with a liner. Nothing special, but something else to sell. Pair of boots. He's walked in the door. The guy didn't know what he had, so I went and looked up in a book, and they're called Blucher high top boots, used in the Aleutians, but then eventually sent to Northwest Europe. Nice pair, nice condition, missing the laces. I can live with that. Their laces are easy to replace if you feel so inclined. I won't. I just sell the stuff as it comes in the door. So that's just more. Pair of snot grabbers, as we call them. U.S. Army, probably the 70s. I don't know if there's a date in here. Sometimes there is. These have the liners. Nope, no date in there. Sometimes there is. Sometimes there's a maker. I don't see one. So they're called snot grabbers. Why? Because when you're wearing it and your nose is running, of course I put my hand in the wrong way. When your nose is running, you do that. Because, hey, that's exactly what you do when it's cold out. So there's that. Canteen cup, another one. Wartime, I believe. So you can see, I'll turn it the right way around, that would help. The C broad arrow there, right into the enamel. So, you know what? Normally they're not marked. Most of the ones you find are not marked. They have no markings. You can't prove they're wartime. Sometimes they're rubber stamped. This one seems to be engraved into the enamel, which is nice. So that's a nice find to get. I'm sure as soon as someone sees that, I know he's going to call me and want it instead of the other one he bought. Whatever. This is a mosquito net tarp. So you put this, you sleep under this. So all this is part of keeping mosquitoes away from you while you're sleeping. So it's wartime. I know it's dated somewhere because I looked at it. Of course, finding that while I'm on camera is another story, but it's not something that turns up every day. So this is a mosquito net hammock. So you climb into it and keep the mosquitoes from eating you alive. And if anybody's done any camping, you know that that's the worst thing is when you're trying to sleep, having those mosquitoes buzzing around your ear. It's very annoying and frustrating. So there's another thing to sell. Then we picked up this. It's an officer's sleeping bag roll. Great. So fine, it is what it is. My employee, after photoing it, made it so I can't read it, but that's okay, because on here is the tag for the guy. Lieutenant Colonel Abrams, 1st locating regiment, Royal Canadian Artillery, medium. So this is his bag for his sleeping kit. Oh, look, yeah, okay, so I can still read it partly. Of course, it's upside down. All right, 1st locating regiment. It's named to him, Lieutenant Colonel. So that's the best you're going to get without me taking it all apart. So those are the carry straps for it. So there's that. You find officers private purchase ones like this, First War and Second War. This one's nice because it's named and he's the CO of the regiment. So I guess he wanted to be comfortable and like the troops, I guess, because that's the way it seems to work. But hey, there you go. So whenever you see that, those straps, you'll know that's what it's for, is for carrying a sleeping kit. So there's that. So I got this, and you're looking at it going, yeah, so what? It's a post-war battle dress. You're 1,000% correct. Definitely a post-war battle dress. Yep, who cares? And I agree. It came in at the same time as this, which I didn't look at, except to go, yeah, so what? It's a Regina Rifles battle dress, so what? No name in it. Okay, so we got the Regina Rifles there. We're 1st Corps, 1st Army. We're missing his ribbons. Fine, it is what it is. There is no name in this anywhere that I could find. I looked, that's all that's in it. So that was, I'd say, a museum accession number or deaccession number now. There's no name, nothing, right? Fine. 1943, C broad arrow, size 8. Great, okay. It's been modified, as you can see right here, because the officers were allowed to do that and have an open face. So, no name, nothing. So I sort of discounted it. I went, yeah, okay, I don't really love it. I love that Major's pip on there, crown on there. I think it's amazing. Love it. Think that's an amazing part of it. I wish the other side had it. It doesn't, but it's the way I got it. Then after the fact, I looked at this much later and realized that, yeah, okay, so this is a battle dress. Yeah, so what? Who cares? We open this up. And then you look at it and go, oh, wait, there's a name in there. Okay. So you go and look up the name. Oh, wait, he was the commanding officer of the Regina Rifles. He ended up being a general, if I remember correctly. So this is his post-war battle dress. This is his wartime battle dress. They came from the same person. They both walked in the door together. But I just went, oh, yeah, it's post-war battle dress. Oh, yeah, it's Regina's. I wish it had div patches on because that would be better instead of core. But, you know, it is what it is. So I'm like, cool. But then I found this and went like this and went, okay, that's really good. Okay, all right, cool. So I can at least document whose battle dress this is now. It's tenuous, it's not 100%, but they came together, so why would I, or anybody, put them together? Because the guy I got them from didn't even realize that this was this guy's, and I didn't realize it till after the fact. So that's cool. So that's more stuff to get around to listing. This just walked in, Japanese sword. So they're works of art, honestly. In this case, the nice part about this is that it's unpolished, unfortunately, so it hasn't been cleaned. Well, it's fortunate and unfortunate, however you want to look at it. What's nice about this sword, as we take it all apart, is that it's named right there. Now, can I read that? No, definitely not. Do I have the papers on it? No, there's no papers on it. So that's named. Then we get the Suba. Okay, great. And it's named right there too. So, you got the Suba named, you got the sword named, and nice little Manuki there, and there. So this is, all in all, a very nice sword, truthfully. What's nice about it is it's named. Now, if you want to spend the money to polish it, or if you want to send it to Japan and get the papers on it or whatever, that's fine. It is expensive. I think polishing this is about $100 U.S. an inch, something extraordinary. But it's a nice sword. I won't bother polishing it. I'm going to list it as is. I'm not going to get papers on it. It's not for me to keep. I don't want to. So I'll get that photoed and listed as soon as possible. So that's another thing. So I'll just put that there and we'll go on to the next thing. So last but not least is this Memorial Cross group to a Canadian. So walked in the door, France and Germany star, CVSM. 3945 metal, and 3945 star. So, Blazer crest, logbook, memorial cross, so there's his memorial cross, and on the back it'll have his name, and he is Pilot Officer J.H. Larson, which of course is the same name that's on the logbook here, which is the same name that comes with all this paperwork. And there's his ops clasp. And there, which I haven't seen before, is a paper sent to the family, this specific one, with his name on, saying, you know, my condolences from the government. There's a lot. There's a picture of him before he became an officer, because that's an R number. There's a pile of paperwork here to the family post-war, and some love letters wartime. So there's a bunch of paperwork, which is good. Now, came with his training logbook and his actually ops logbook. So he's a wireless operator. So in here, as we go to the inside, this is where you put the information. So there's his name, Larson again. And then what you do, if you want to always look in a logbook, you always want to look in the back, because theoretically you're supposed to be filled out in the back. So it says what units he's with, and then what aircraft he's flown in or on. So in this case, he's been on Bolingbrook's, Fleet Battle, B-25 Mitchell, Anson, Wellington's, Halifax's. That tells you the units: 1666 conversion unit, 22 operational training unit, and so on. Number 9 AOS, number 6 bombing and gunnery, operational training unit, and so on. Now, that tells you the units he's been with and on. So that's good. What you do then is you go and find the last entries, the last page, and that'll give you an answer as to his experience. So, Commanding Officer 426 Squadron, summary, and for February, and the date is 45, and he was killed on ops in, as I'm trying to read this upside down, February 22nd, 45. His aircraft failed to return. I believe that's what it was off the top of my head. But yeah, I think that was what it was. Because that is not, that was his last entry. So I think it was then or just after that that he was killed. His aircraft did not return. Everyone was lost, and there's no known grave, I understand, in this one. So it doesn't have a huge amount of information in here. If he's a pilot, they train them a lot more, but he's a wireless air gunner. As you can see, it even says it, wireless operator right there. And in this case, if I remember correctly, red are night ops and green are day ops. So every single ops he's done, he wrote down ops and so on. And you go to another page of ops, and that's when he was still with 426 Squadron. And before that, yeah, more 426, okay. And previous page, there's a ops, that's when the ops started. Before that, he was familiarization with the area, etc. So, and the crew. So that walked in the door. That's cool. Nice grouping. I'll get that photoed and listed. I'm sure I know somebody who's going to be calling me on that, but that's okay. So that's what I picked up in the past couple days. It's been a bit too busy to get around to taking pictures. So follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Check out the website, which again, we're redoing yet again. It's not even funny. Oh my God. Right. So hope you have a good day, and hope you enjoy what you're looking at. Take care. Have fun. Bye.